Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Beth. I think y'all all already know me by now, but this is your gentle float and deep stretch class. So I have a couple of blocks here just in case. Could be used towards the end of practice, but could also be used throughout your entire practice, and I'll guide you on how to use that. Playlist for today, life-size ghosts, but don't overthink it, right? It's all good. It's just yoga. We're just going to breathe, move, and stretch a little bit. So with that, I'm going to have you start off in child's pose. So from here, you'll take your knees out to the side edges of your mat. Your big toes will come to touch. And then sink your hips back towards your heels. You can go ahead and turn your music on now if you would like to. And reach your arms forward. Let your forehead come down. Relax your shoulders back and down. Now if you have a bolster, you could slide your bolster long ways underneath you to start so that your chest just rests on top of it. You could also use it to slide between your hamstrings, your bottom, and your heels if the holding child's pose is too much flexion on your knees, if it's too much bending, right? I'm going to have you here for a little bit, so roll your shoulders back and down. Close down your eyes. And do whatever it is that you need to do to step onto your mat, to step into this practice, and to give yourself permission to not solve any problems outside of the four walls of your mat, to not think about other things. A big part of your self-care is being fully present in these moments that you do give yourself so that you get the best, the most benefit from them. And I know it's hard from home, y'all, I get it. But if you can ignore your phone, ignore text messages, notifications for 1 hour, all the other hours in your day are going to more than likely be more fruitful for you. So you're right here. Your knees are out wide and there's nothing underneath you. You're really going to take a deep inhale and probably feel your belly drape down to the ground as your digestive organs kind of rest and float in your abdomen. And then when you exhale, the navel draws in and up towards your spine. And the organs kind of float back up. On your inhale, let a soft belly drop down. And exhale, bring it right back up. If you do have something underneath you, clearly, it's going to feel more constrictive as you breathe, right? Take a few more rounds of breath right here. As you breathe in, you know that you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know that you're breathing out. On your inhale, walk your hands forward. And as you exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Right thumb next to left thumb. Let your forehead stay down as your right hip pulls back and away from your right shoulder. On your inhale, you feel how your right side ribcage fans open. It makes space for the right side lung. And then you exhale and it just softens back down. Now on your inhale, slide your hands through center. And on your exhale, walk all the way over to the right, thumb next to thumb. Now you bow out through the left side of your body. Let your left hip continue to move down towards your heel. You create space through the left side body. Your forehead is down, your eyes can be closed. Your jaw is relaxed and you're just opening as you inhale and releasing as you exhale. On your next inhale, slide through center. And then as you exhale, press up into your box pose. Let's get off of your knees. Well, you're still on your knees, but let's release some of the bend in the knee for a moment. You might roll out your ankles. Whatever you need here. Good. And then your inhale. Let a soft belly drop down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. Gaze up. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back and tuck your chin and your tail. Good. Inhale. Your heart presses between your upper arm bones. There's a sway to your low back. And then exhale, reverse the movement, navel to your spine. Separate your shoulder blades. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale, the belly down. And exhale, the belly up. Now feel free to move through cat and cow a few more times. If you need something just different, start to roll around, right? Just moving on your mat in a circular or like an undulation kind of manner, whatever feels right. There is no right or wrong way to do this. As long as you're not hurting yourself, it's good. Yeah? So just move. Just find the sticky spots. Notice what's showing up in your physical and your energetic bodies today, right? Whatever movement it is that you started to take, make sure you even it out from one side to the next. And then come back into your box pose. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your knees underneath your hips. Root your left hand down and reach your right arm up to the sky as you inhale. And then weave your right arm underneath the left. Come down to your shoulder, your ear, your temple as you exhale. And let your left arm reach forward. Or you can wrap it around the small of your back in a half bind. But continue to let your left shoulder kind of open. It's early in practice, so don't overdo it, right? Breathe. When you're ready, let your left hand, if it did anything else, come back in front of your face. On your inhale, straighten your left arm, reach your right arm up to the sky. Now stay like this for just a moment. And as you exhale, take your right arm around the small of your back in a half bind. And open your chest up to the right. Kind of counter what you just did. Good. And release your right arm back up with an inhale. Right hand down as you exhale. Root your right palm. Inhale, float your left arm up to the sky. And then you exhale, thread your left arm underneath the right. Come down to your ear, your temple, your shoulder. And then your right arm can reach forward. You can wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. Find what you need. Soften your face and breathe here. Breathe into your upper back. So I know in yoga we do a lot of this hippity-dippity yoga speak, right? I get it. But if you can get hippity-dippity with me for 1 second, I want you to breathe with your rhomboids. I want you to breathe with your shoulder blades. I want you to breathe. This is the back side of your lungs, y'all, right? I want you to breathe with all of that. So as you inhale, feel it kind of get taut. It's stretching. And then you exhale, let it go. Inhale. exhale. Now if your right arm did anything else, reach your hand back to the sky and then let it come down in front of your face. And then you inhale, straighten your right arm, lift your left arm up to the sky. Open your chest to the left. And then exhale, take your left arm around the small of your back and open up to the left. It's okay if it doesn't go deep or all the way where you think it should go. Right? Just open and breathe. And then you'll release your left arm back to the sky with your inhale. Left hand down to the ground as you exhale. One round, inhale, cow pose, belly down, lift your gaze. Belly up as you exhale, find your cat pose. Now curl up your toes, take an inhale, and then float your hips up and back to downward facing dog as you exhale. It's that first lengthening probably of your calves, so if the heels don't come all the way down, it's all fine. Something you could maybe work on here is to roll to the balls of your feet. I got this from Jamie Davis. You roll to the balls of your feet, and then you take a bend to your knees and you really lift your tailbone so that your chest can move towards your thighs, and you create an apex with your hips. So you're actually hinging at your hips instead of at your waist, right? You're finding the hinge to where you can lift your tailbone towards the sky and let the crown of your head just hang down naturally. And then maybe you pedal out your feet one at a time. I'm not going to have you here too much longer. Take an inhale, soft bend to both knees and look forward. And then as many steps as you need on the exhale, step your feet up towards your hands and leave your feet about hip width distance apart. This is where you could always bring your blocks to the top of your mat, or as you inhale, slide your fingertips to your shins and tabletop out your back. Pull your belly in and up. And exhale, drape your chest over your thighs and let the crown of your head hang down. You're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift, tabletop your back. Zip your low belly in and up. And exhale, chest to your thighs, crown of your head down. Last round, inhale, halfway lift. So the crown of your head goes forward, your tailbone goes back. And then as you exhale, fold it down. Maybe you hold on to opposite elbows and let the crown of your head reach down as you sway side to side. If you want it. You can just be still. Good, go. Breathe. And you'll slowly come back to center. Let your hands come down to the ground. Completely exhale. Now on your inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up, look up. And on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Lift your chest, zip your low belly in and up. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, look up. Maybe you begin to arch your spine as you draw your navel in. And then you exhale, hinge at your hips and take a forward fold, chest to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. You've been here before. And exhale, chest to your thighs, crown of your head down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up, look up. Maybe you arch your back. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out and up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and take the crown of your head down. So half sun salutations. Inhale, halfway lift. Tabletop your spine. And open up your collarbones. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Inhale, full capacity lungs as you come all the way up. And then exhale, empty your lungs and bring your hands to heart center. You've got 1 more. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold yourself down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, your halfway lift, tabletop your back. Exhale, Uttanasana, chest to your thighs, the crown of your head down, shoulders soften from your ears. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And on the exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Roll your shoulders back and down. Now you're going to root down into the, let's say, it doesn't really matter. Let's root down into the right foot and step your left foot to the back of your mat. So I want you to turn your heels in, your toes out, and then bend your knees and drop yourself down low, okay? So keep your shoulders lifted. So for some people, this is like a goddess squat or a sumo squat, right? So find what you need. Roll your shoulders back and down. Zip your low belly in and up, and then look for a neutral tail. So it's really easy to flare, and I'll turn to the side for this part. It's really easy to turn your tail out or to like scared puppy and over tuck, right? We're looking for something a little bit more in that neutral plane. So find that, and you're gonna hold here for a little bit because we need to warm up our legs so that it feels better when we stretch them, right? So roll your shoulders back. Your hands can come down to your thighs. It's all good. And then I'm going to have you sit a little bit lower, right? Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, take an inhale. And then straighten your legs, lift your chest. Now you can reach your arms out and up. This is your inhale. Sit yourself down as you exhale. Swim your arms out and up, inhale. Sit it down as you exhale. Knees and toes are pointing in the same direction. Inhale, root your heels down. Exhale, squat it down. You've got two more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Squat it down. Exhale. Drop your fingertips to your inner thighs. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in. And then drop your right shoulder down. Gaze to the left as you breathe out. Come back to center. Inhale. Left shoulder down, gaze right as you exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop right, look left. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop left and look right. Now come back to center as you inhale. Hold as you exhale. Zip your navel in. On your inhale, open your arms out to a T. And as you exhale, hug opposite shoulders or eagle up your arms while holding your goddess legs. Nice, y'all. Your gaze is right there between your forearms. Drop a little bit lower. I know that your legs are warm. Inhale, unravel, open your arms. Exhale, left arm underneath the right. Hug opposite shoulders or go ahead and eagle yourself up. Good, y'all. Breathe. One more exhale. Inhale, unravel your arms, straighten your legs, reach your arms high. Now as you exhale, turn your toes either slightly pigeon-toed, but at least parallel to the long edge of your mat. Reach with your fingertips as you inhale. Now hinge at your hips and come all the way down. So it's Prasarita Padottanasana as you exhale, your wide leg forward fold. Allow for the crown of your head to reach down towards the ground as you release your shoulders from your ears. Some of you will take an inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, slide the lateral ribs more towards the inner thighs. Good. Navel towards your spine, you're still breathing. Notice as you hold this and breathe that you might be able to walk your hands a little bit farther back. So towards the opposite long edge of your mat. You don't have to, right? If you're in this and it's like, oh my gosh, take a soft bend to your knees. Keep breathing into where you're at. There's no point in overdoing it because there are no shortcuts in yoga, y'all. Shortcuts mean injuries. So all good. Take your time and let your body open up naturally. I'm going to have you inhale, take a halfway lift. So crown of your head forward, tailbone pulling back. Now on your exhale, root your right hand down to the ground and just lift your left arm up to the sky. And let's get a little bit into the thoracic spine. Watch your hips. It's going to be easy for your right hip to drop down. Good. Hold here and breathe. You could always just leave your left hand on your low back if you feel like things are getting weird back there. Take one more inhale. And then drop your left hand down where the right hand is as you exhale. Lengthen your spine. That part is important. And then you inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Feel free to drop your right hand down and check your hips and your low back. Keep breathing. One more inhale. Now drop your right hand down as you exhale. Maybe you need to kind of roll through your shoulders a little bit. That's okay. And then you're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's just flip back to the top of your mat. And now soften your left knee down to the ground. All right, so this is another place where you could use blocks at the top of your mat. So you're in a low lunge on the right side. So for whatever reason you've got your left leg forward, go ahead and switch it to the right foot for me. So you have your right knee is a 90-degree bend. Your left knee is a diagonal from your hip, right? So you're here. Roll your shoulders back and down. If you want to use your blocks, they can go on either side of your right foot right here. And you pull your chest forward. Just let yourself feel this right here. Good. Now take an inhale, pull your chest forward. As you exhale, shift back. You can walk your hands back with you. We've already warmed up the hamstrings some, so I'm not going to focus too much on this part yet. But I do want you to feel like you have the freedom to move forward and backward if you choose, instead of just holding one place or the other. So notice what you need here. And then eventually you're going to come right back to your low lunge at the top of your mat. And then you could leave your hands down. I don't care, right? You could bring them to the tops of your thighs. Or you could take your arms up overhead. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Zip your low belly in and up, and then maybe you arch your back. Gaze to the ceiling. Squeeze your inner thighs towards one another. Keep breathing, y'all. Take one more inhale. Now as you exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot. You're going to slide your right foot over so you create some space for your right hip. So you're in your low lizard lunge. Roll your shoulders back. And then today I'm going to kind of take circles with my hips. So I've got a lot going on. I'm going to move this around here. You don't have to, right? You can just hold lizard. You could come down to your forearms. If you are circling, make sure you're breathing with your movements and that you take your circles in both directions. You're also zipping your low belly in and up so you don't dump down into your low back. It's easy to do. And breathe. Good, y'all. Now from here, take an inhale. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. You're probably going to have to walk your hands back a little bit, and that's fine. And find a calf stretch on the right side. You could also slide your left knee forward if that feels more comfortable to you. Find your spot. That's good. Roll forward and backward for a few moments and stretch through your right calf. Good. And then you take one more inhale. Right back to center as you exhale. Now lift your right leg up with your inhale. Cross it all the way over to the left as you exhale. Let your right toes come all the way off of your mat. And then stack your left hip back on top of your thigh and your knee. And then pull your right shoulder forward. Maybe you gaze into the left side body. You're really trying to stretch the right side body, right? So just breathe into it. What do you have stuck in there? Zip your low belly in and up. As you inhale, re-extend your right leg long and strong. On your exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. Feel free to circle anything out or to just hold the open hip twist. It's all good. And then slowly drop your right knee back down to the ground. Step your left foot forward, coming into your low lunge at the top of your mat, just like we did on the right side. And draw your left knee over your left heel, your ankle. Your right knee creates the diagonal to your thigh, to your hip. Zip your low belly in and up, and just be here to start. You can bring hands on top of blocks on either side of your left foot. It's perfect, but I just want you to feel this out before you do anything else. You kind of breathe into it, and at this point you could maybe inhale right here, pull your heart forward, exhale, shift it back, straighten your left leg, flex your toes. What is it that you need? Inhale, come forward. If you're moving, just stay where you need to stay if you're staying. I tell y'all this all the time, that when we teach public yoga classes, when you're not teaching a private, you're kind of throwing a dart to the middle of the room, hoping it lands somewhere, and that you all have to then discern where to go with it, because I don't know how you feel. You know how you feel. Now your left knee restacks over your heel, your ankle. Feel free to stay with the hands down. It's good, y'all. Or bring your hands to your thigh. Roll your shoulders back and down. Zip your low belly in and up so your low back is supported. Maybe you inhale, reach your right arm up. It's followed by the left. Hands could reach together, arch your back, only if you want to. Take one more inhale. And then hands down to the inside of your left foot as you exhale. Slide your left foot over, create some space here. And take your low lizard lunge. Draw your low belly in and up. And you can go really anywhere within this shape that feels good. I'm in a circle. Move with your breath. Maybe 2 to 3 more rounds of breath right here. From here, take an inhale. And then you'll step your left foot to the back of your mat as you exhale. You might have to walk your hands back or slide your right knee forward, whatever feels best to you. You're on the ball of your left foot, and then you start to roll forward and backwards so that you get a stretch for your left calf. Stack your shoulders back over your wrists. On your inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. As you exhale, cross your left leg all the way over to the right. Find the floor. And then look down, because the right hip has a tendency to splay out to the side to, compensate. Try to stack your hip, your thigh, your knee. And then pull your left shoulder forward, and you can gaze over towards the right. Breathe deeply into your left side body. So now I'm going to ask you, more hippity-dippity stuff. Breathe right here. Focus your breath there. And see a difference. Feel a difference. Two more breaths. Lift your left leg up to a 3-point balance, and then exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. You can circle it out, like what do you need, right? I'm going to have have you drop your left knee down to the ground. You're back into your box pose. Stack your joints. And then inhale, soft belly down. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And exhale, arch your upper back, navel to your spine. Drop your head down. One more round. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to your neutral spine. All right, so here it is. On the exhale, I'm going to have you step your right foot forward, okay? Shift back into a half split, but this time I would like, if it's available to you, for you to come all the way down. It's where you're kind of sitting on your left heel. Now, if that is a no-go for you, you could slide a block underneath your right hip. You could roll your mat up underneath your right hip or put a towel, like a rolled up towel, anything at all. And then from there, some of you will actually have the space to slide over and like let your left heel come to the outside of your right glutes, or your left heel to the outside of your left glute. If that works for you, feel free to do it as well, right? And then you inhale, I want you to reach your left arm up into the sky. On your exhale, kind of reach forward. You're going to turn your left thumb down and reach to the outer edge of your right foot. If it doesn't touch, I don't care, y'all. Honestly, I really don't. Just reach. You can also slide a block underneath your bottom if that feels better, right? So whatever it is that you need, there was my knee, right? is here. Because that also works. And it takes some of the pressure off of your left kneecap. So, there it is. Good, y'all. It's all good if the left hand isn't anywhere close to your right foot. It could be all the way back here. As long as you're long in your spine, your breath is even, it's steady, then you're doing it right and you're getting the benefit. If you can come down lower, feel free to come down lower. As you inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips if they moved. I am going to move the block out from underneath me for this part. And then as you exhale, just kind of settle back in. So again, you could be sitting on your left heel, right? It's going to be intense on the top of your left foot, but you'll be all right. You will be all right. And then you start to walk your hands back. Fingertips towards you, right? If you take your heel off, your hip off of your heel, you might come all the way down, right? This is a deep stretch for your left quad. So go gentle and check out what's happening with your right foot. You want it to still be active, so it's not just flopping out to the right or hanging into the left, but your left knee is also not popping off of the ground. So if that happens, that just means that everything that's attached to your kneecap is overdone, it's overstretched, right? So you would come back up. Easy peasy. Breathe. Now when you're ready, slowly sit yourself back up. Walk yourself forward. So you're going to lift onto your left knee, your left shin. You're going to bring your right foot flat. Curl up your left toes, lift your left knee, and then let your left heel soften down to the ground. So now you're in your pyramid pose. You're more than welcome to have blocks on either side of your right leg, your right foot. I'm going to have you inhale, lift your chest, pull your heart forward, and then exhale, take your navel towards your right thigh bone. So I know this is a little bit more intense. If the navel slides towards the thigh bone, your right hip starts to draw back naturally as your left hip pulls forward. So it starts to even and level off your hips all by itself. Elongate your spine. And for those of you, got this tidbit from Amy Johnson. For those of you who your heels don't fall down towards the ground in downward facing dog, pay attention to when you press down into the big toe ball mount on your right foot, the sensation that's created at the base of your calf. So we're not trying to stretch your Achilles because that's holding everything together. But all the stuff that's wrapped around that, we can stretch. So really press down into the big toe ball mound on your right foot and stretch the base of your calf. All that stuff that's stuck down there from all the activities that we do, the things that we love. What you're doing right now makes all of those things better in the long run. Good, y'all. Take one more inhale. Now you can bend your right knee or straight leg, transition to a forward fold. So step your left foot forward. And then take an exhale, drape your chest over your thighs. Let your shoulders relax from your ears. And then you inhale, it's a halfway lift. On the exhale, step your right foot back, bring your right knee down to the ground, straighten your left leg, and you're going to shift yourself all the way back if it's available. You can come down onto your right heel, right? This is fine. As long as you're not, it can be really uncomfortable if the top of your foot is tight. You can also curl up your right toes and sit back on your right heel. It's also going to be uncomfortable, right? You could slide a block underneath you. That's going to be, or 2 blocks, right? That will probably be the most approachable. You also have the option to slide your hips off of your right heel, slide your right heel outside, as long as everything stays, groovy. And then you reach your right arm up to the sky. And you exhale, start to fold over your left leg and reach your right arm out, but make sure to turn your thumb down and reach your right hand to the outer edge of your left foot. Good, y'all. I'm going to slide a block underneath me. Feels better on my knees. Good. You could even, if you're really into it, you've got pretty flexible hamstrings, you might take a soft bend to your knee, honestly, just so you don't overdo it, but you could bend your right elbow and really pull your chest forward. Breathe, relax your face, your brows, your jaw, all that stuff. Maybe 2 more breaths here. And slowly inhale, bring your shoulders back over your hips. I am going to lose the block for this part. Now you can stay sitting on your right heel or slide off of it. You do what you need to do. You're going to start to walk your hands back, but your right knee stays down, okay? So you can probably see like my hips are unleveled, so I'm going to actually slide a block under my left hip and come down. Yeah, oh, I got it. Really stretching the front side of my right hip, my right quad, all that stuff, but the left leg is still active. Some of you will come all the way down, right? So this comes in, this is part of the Ashtanga series. This, Trianguka? Yeah. Trianguka. I never know how to say this one in English, so there you go. And it's a really nice quad stretch that you don't always get in yoga because a lot of it is posterior chain focused, especially if you're taking vinyasa or primary series in Ashtanga. It's very backside of the body opening. Don't get a whole lot of the stuff that we need to get on the front side body. So take these opportunities, right? Do the stuff. And when you're ready, walk your hands back up. I'm going to slide my block out from underneath me, nice and slow. And then you walk yourself forward. Left foot goes flat, curl up your right toes, lift your right knee, and then straighten both legs. Now, oh, that feels so good. You could turn your right toes slightly outward. Think of a long, strong spine. Your heart moves forward. Navel draws in and up. Your left hip pulls back, right hip forward. Breathe. breaths right here. Always take a soft bend in your left knee or bring blocks down in front on either side of your left foot. Last two. Now this time, as you inhale, I'm going to have you turn to the right. Okay? I'm going to actually turn the opposite way just so I'm not, But so you're in a wide leg facing the long edge of your mat. Now keep your wide leg, but bend your knees. Maybe you come down one at a time. And then I'm going to have you take your knees out wide for frog pose. So you want your knee, your shin, and your ankle to be in the same line. And then you want your hips to be in alignment with your knees. And what tends to happen is we either sit too far back, so it's almost like a weird child's pose, or we come too far forward. So if it's really easy and you're just plotting down, either your hips are extremely open, and I love you whenever I say this, or you're just not quite doing it right. So find the space. It's probably going to be uncomfortable. And then I sometimes do this with one knee off of the mat so that my knees will slide farther apart. But you do you. Kind of glance around and then just be, right? If you have a bolster, you could use this, anywhere underneath you to support if you feel like it's too much. You could also skip this if you absolutely have to, but it's a great one and we don't do it very often. When you're ready to come out, I bring my heels together first, and then I sit back on my heels and then bring my knees together. Take your time, do it how you need to. You're more than welcome to stay there for a little bit longer if you choose. And then just come back to the top of your mat. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. On your inhale, let a soft belly drop down. Find your cow pose. As you exhale, cat pose, navel to your spine. Dome out your upper back and tuck your chin. On your inhale, soft belly down. Lift your chin, lift your gaze, your tail. And then exhale, cat pose. Navel to your spine. Back into a neutral spine with your inhale. Then bring your right knee forward for half pigeon. As you exhale, slide your left leg back. Now if you prefer to do this on your back, feel free to do so, crossing your right ankle over a bent left knee. Or if you would rather do double pigeon, feel free to just stack your left shin on top of the right. And we want our left hip to feel like it's being drawn down towards the ground. Reach your heart forward. Soft flex to your right foot. And then just take yourself down. Relax your shoulders. Maybe you close down your eye. Breathe. Allow yourself to feel heavy here. Relax your brows, your jaw, your shoulders. And slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift your chest. And then you'll press back into your box pose, but you'll probably want to circle out your right hip in both directions. The synovial fluid moving around in there, or at least some circulation, right? And then drop your right knee back down. Take an inhale. Left knee to your left wrist. Slide your right leg back as you exhale. Find your half pigeon. Now your left leg, your shin could be up to parallel to the top of your mat, or your heel all the way in towards your pelvis, whatever works for you. Your right hip pulls down. Inhale, lift your chest and pull your heart forward. And then exhale, just melt it all the way down to the earth. Even steady breathing. As you inhale, slide your hands back underneath your chest. Lift your shoulders. And curl up your right toes. Press back. Float your left leg back, and then bend your knee and circle out your left hip in both directions. And then your left knee comes down. Cross your feet. Sit back on your ankles. And let's just find a comfortable seated position for a moment. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then as you inhale, reach your arms out. And on the exhale, cross your right arm underneath your left. You can hug opposite shoulders. You can eagle up your arms. Relax your shoulders down. Breathe here for a moment. And close down your eyes. When you inhale, unravel, open your arms out. And as you exhale, take your left arm underneath the right, hug opposite shoulders, or eagle them up, palm to palm. Breathe, and it's okay if it's different from one side to the next. It's all good. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders over your hips, bellies in. Inhale, unravel, reach your arms out. Exhale, let your hands come down. This is where you'll grab onto your two blocks if it's at all available to you. and kind of feel it out. So this is the lowest setting. You can bring it down like that. Some people like it this way. You're going to kind of have to feel it out for yourself. I'm going to go on level 2, and I'm going to bring this one up to level 3. Now, if you had a bolster, you could always like readjust this and lay a bolster down on top of it, right? So that it would be a little bit more comfortable. As you can see, I do not have a bolster, so I am not doing that. I'm going to find this block right here in my upper middle thoracic spine. I'm going to find the space that feels good across the rib cage so that I can open up my chest. There it is. And then I have my legs in a butterfly pose. You are more than welcome to extend your legs out long, to bend your knees like you would for a bridge pose and just bring the feet down on the ground. You can also skip the block that's underneath the head. I just don't really love the sensation of my head hanging down sometimes. So I have a block there. Find what you need. Space where you can be for just a couple minutes because we're going to hold this, okay? So I want you to get a spot where you get a good opening. There. And breathe. Longer if you really like how this feels. If you are ready, I'm going to bring my knees up and bring my feet down to the ground. I'm going to release the block that's underneath my head, bring my elbows down to the ground and lift my chest and slide that block out from underneath me as well. And then I just want you to come flat onto the ground. And for a moment, just rest your bones, right? Like just take your spine onto the floor without doing anything else. No abrupt movements. Just let everything kind of settle back into its place. When you're ready, if you need something like spinal twisting, if you need windshield wipers or something like that, by all means, feel free to take those. And if you need to let the knees just hang to the side, do that into a deeper twist. You're more than welcome to take a deeper spinal twist. If you do spinal twisting, make sure that you take it in the opposite direction as well. If you need to hug your knees in towards your chest, feel free to do so. You could bring your forehead up to your knees as well. And when you're ready, you can change your music to the last song on the playlist if it's not already there. And you'll lie down on the earth in your closing Shavasana. Extend your legs forward. Let your feet hang comfortably open. Your arms down by the side, body, your palms face up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Close your eyes. And as you drift here for a moment, I'm going to share with you, and Eddie Stern didn't write this, but I took it out of his book. It's an old meditation. But it's a loving kindness meditation, and it's the repetition of very simple phrases. You've all heard it from me before. And in Sanskrit, it's the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. While you're here in your Shavasana, just repeat to yourself, may I be safe, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be peaceful. May I be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May I be peaceful and happy. May my body be strong and healthy and heal itself over and over. May I take care of myself with ease and joy. And to whom I have hurt knowingly or unknowingly, I ask forgiveness. And to those who have hurt me knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive. I forgive myself for hurting myself knowingly or unknowingly. Be here and rest. If you need to be here longer, just tune me out and stay, just for the sake of time. If you are ready, begin to deepen your breath, to wiggle your fingers and your toes. On your inhale, reach your arms up overhead and find your full body stretch. As you exhale, tuck your knees in towards your chest and wrap your arms around your shins. You're going to roll to the right or rock up to your comfortable, easy sit, just right where you are. Sitting there nice and tall, stack your shoulders over your hips. Navel draws in, let your hands either come in Anjali Mudra at heart center, or you can have them rest in your lap or on your knees. And as we part and go our own ways, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And may you heal yourself over and over and over again. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Peace be with each and every one of you. Namaste.